What's up, guys? So this is quite alarming, actually. We're already seeing the downgraded server status high on both of the new fresh start servers. I'm not sure what it looks like in EU, as EU is currently under maintenance right now, which actually bodes extremely bad for the North America servers as well, since whenever the other region is under maintenance, most of those players flock over to the alternate servers. So all the EU players can't play. They jump on the North American servers and play over there. Although it said queue, for the longest time on these servers, there was no queue. It was just a fake queue thing where they hit that original threshold where the queue would have kicked in, but what they did on the fresh start servers was actually allow higher occupancy on these servers to let all these players in. It was 6 times higher than what a standard server has. So these ones, of course, are the old legacy servers, and not many of them ever get the high. Kairos kind of gets the high sometimes, and I believe a couple others occasionally get the high as well. But quite alarming. So we're looking at Steam charts here. This is something that is interesting. We don't get actual population numbers from Tryon Worlds. They're not releasing anything. But we can go look at the Steam charts and you can see some interesting trends. And Archeage is not only available just on Steam, so this is not a fair representation. They have their own launcher, which means there's a lot more players playing on that launcher. Probably around 10 to 15 times more players, I would say, playing on that launcher. So, currently playing an hour ago, we have 1,182 players playing on Steam across all of those servers and also the EU servers as well. Then, you look at the overall charts here. So, the big peaks are the official launch, when the game officially launched. And then you have what I believe over here was 2.0. So, this is one major big patch. Either that or it was castles. I'm not too familiar. But then we have over here 3.0 with the new fresh start servers. And you can see there's a quite a big surge of popularity. 2,600, all the way up to 4,366 after the fresh start. And then it slowly dies off over time. So in about those 3 ticks, 1, 2, 3, the population had went back to where it was, losing about 50% of the player base. Now, flash forward to the new fresh start servers here, 5,458 on Steam, an incredibly high amount of players, and almost equaling the launch amount of players. The hype was unreal for 3.0. So now let's go 3 clicks, 1, 2, 3. And we still have a good chunk of players. They retained a large majority of those players, only down to about 4,500 players. So I'm not sure if that is actually the same amount of time. Let's go back over here. So August 31st. Nope. So these clicks are about a month. So let's go over here. So November 28th. Now 3 months later. Puts us right about exactly where we were. And it looks like we're even downward trending. 2,000 players. So it looks like the population is even worse than it was after the official, 3.0 relaunch. The player population has been slowly dying off over time. And now we may be trending downward toward this 1,500-ish player mark. Again, this is just Steam, but it's a general consensus. The game is slowly bleeding off players, and I believe there just needs to be a complete overhaul in the whole system, especially the PvP. PvP needs to be more meaningful. There's not much meaning behind the PvP in Archeage, which makes players like me who aren't necessarily good at it not want to compete at it or even attempt to really do it. And if there was more meaning behind it, more actual people would go out and PvP. So potentially, PvP gear, I think, could be something that might encourage more PvP in this game. So something similar to like the Aeon system of how you had Abyss points. They do have honor points in this game, but honor points buys you very little. They buy you gems to sock it in your gear, which everyone hates because the RNG is so bad. The fail rate on those gems is just astronomically low. if they introduced, like, say, PvP gear, or the leaderboards gave out some, prizes like they do. They have the hero rewards right now. In the leaderboards, I think you actually get something for being like number 1 on the leaderboards for the arena as well. So those do encourage some PvP and give out rewards, the slight benefits, like bonuses. But if they had like a gear, PvP specific gear, that would be pretty cool. They could do it very similar to like to Aeon, and have some cheap gear, and then have like the Uber tier gear that cost a bajillion more points, and then have decay on these gear. That's something that Aeon didn't have, and they needed desperately, is decay on the gear. The gear needs to break. There needs to be a reason for you to PvP. There needs to be a reason to actually get that points again and start the gear treadmill over and over again. And there should be some easier, cheaper gears that is fairly accessible to most players, and then the Uber gear course should be slightly better but cost a whole shitload more of these points. And of course the top be-all best PvPers are going to go aim for that gear. And then you can also have some of these gear, or some of these, like, say, honor points drop from bosses, world bosses, and events, special things like that. So I think, looking back at trying to figure out what could save Archeage, what could be the saving grace, I think a system like that would actually help out a lot. But hey, what do I know? I don't really PvP that much. But hey, maybe if they made it worthwhile and synthesize it, maybe I would go PvP. Alright guys, I will talk to you guys later. Hopefully the fresh start servers and the old servers get some loving in the near future, and the population stabilizes some, because if not, especially the old servers will be going through merges. It's just a matter of time. Merges are around the corner. I don't know exactly when. We'll probably be talking a lot more about that at PAX East in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully Trine Worlds is willing to talk about merges at that time, because I would love to get that information out for you guys. But yes, old servers, the transfers went through, and now it's time to see what the population is on those servers, see how it's going, and then decide, are mergers in the future for any of the servers? What's going to happen? How is this going to be handled? What's going to, what's going to happen to your land? What's going to happen to guilds? What's going to happen to nations? What are they going to do? Last time they didn't do direct merges. They actually just evolved the servers. They put 2 servers together, or 3 servers together, as I can't remember correctly off my top head. But they took 2 servers. They gave everyone full kits on their housing, and then merged them all into one new server, and then they had to go land rush. So everyone had a quote-unquote fair chance at getting to land there on the new servers. So, what do you think? Do you think servers will be merged? Are you on a dead server, as it's called? There's so many people just screaming dead server, dead game in chat. And that's, a self-fulfilling prophecy. As more people shout it, more people believe it. The more you say something, the more that it becomes universally accepted as truth. So, you fake it until you make it, and if people are trying to kill Archeage, they're doing a pretty damn good job of it. I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.